You know what most entrepreneurs do in January and something you probably are doing as well? You get out a fresh planner because somehow starting the year with a fresh planner makes everything better. Or is it just me? You color code your content calendar, you map out your strategy, and sometimes even five strategies, and convince yourself that this is the year that you're going to be consistent finally. So if you've ever sat down at the start of a new year and told yourself, this is the time, this is the year I'm finally going to stay consistent, or mapped out a perfect strategy only to abandon it weeks later, then this is for you. Why more planning isn't always the answer. Why the pressure to be more strategic might actually be what's keeping you stuck, and how to reset your business with more clarity without starting from scratch or overcomplicating things. But let me tell you something that might feel a little uncomfortable. You probably don't struggle because you don't have a plan. You struggle because you're already full and you're trying to fix that by adding more. So if you've been in business for a while, maybe a few years, maybe crossing 50 to 100K mark, you're juggling client work and content and maybe a small team or a VA, then January comes in and you're thinking, maybe I just need to be more strategic. Maybe this is the year that I finally get my systems in place. And so you sit down at your desk, open your Notion dashboard or your planner and start writing out your goals. But halfway through the process, you already feel anxious and tired, like you're trying to bend your business into shapes that it doesn't really want to be into. What if it's because you're still carrying everything from 2025? If you're new here, my name is Rosemary. I'm a holistic business coach and strategist, and I help you build a successful business on your own terms without burning out. You know the feeling when you open your closet and think, I have nothing to wear. But the truth is, your closet is probably just full. And there's just so much in there that you find things that probably don't fit anymore, don't fit your style, worn out stuff, and pieces just don't feel like you anymore. So it's not that you need to go shopping again, it's that you need to see what you already have. So you really need to see what's in your closet so you know exactly what you have and what you can wear. The solution is always to declutter first and clear out what no longer fits. That's the same for your business. You don't need 10 more strategies. You don't need to work with multiple coaches. You don't need to buy 100 new courses. You just need to see what's already working, what still fits, and what needs to go. If you're struggling with this, know that you're not alone. I used to struggle with this every new year, and to be honest, probably every new quarter, because I would sit down and have my content buckets, my offer ideas, revenue stream, everything. It looked good on paper, but inside I was a little bit tense because I was dreading implementing it. Most of the things that I had on my list were things that I just thought had to be on my list. I had to launch every 6 weeks. And this was based on what my coaches had told me worked for them. And so that's when I realized that it's really not about planning better, but it's really about looking at what works for you and understand what your non-negotiables are and how you can run your business in a way that feels more like you. That's why I created the Balanced Business Roadmap, because most entrepreneurs need a better way to check in with their business without having to feel like they're starting all over again every quarter. And once I started using my Balanced Business Roadmap and sharing it with my clients and the women in my community, it helped them figure out what matters before they dived into strategy. In my years of working with female entrepreneurs, whether they've been in business for 2, 3, or 5 years, what I see is that these women are booking clients and making a decent revenue and doing great work, but they somehow still feel like they're stuck in a loop. The story of one of my clients, she's a creative strategist and she lives in the UK. When she came to me, she was already making £60,000 a year with a booked out calendar. But every January, she would sit down and write with detailed funnels, big launch ideas. But by February, she was already overwhelmed and off track, not because she was confused, but because her plan was built on pressure and not necessarily priorities. And it was planned to mirror other people's businesses, but not her reality. We simplified her offer suite. Instead of offering 6 different things, we just focused on offering 2. We rebuilt her week around her energy, not someone else's morning routine that she's seen. We tracked what actually created revenue for her and really let go of the rest. Within the next 3 months, she had more space to actually plan. She had more profit. And what she says is that I finally have a business that feels like me again, and I actually have more freedom to enjoy the benefits that my business brings me. Just so you know, that's the exact kind of work that I do every day inside the Balance CEO Circle and with my clients in BBA. If you're looking for support in creating a business that works for your life and not against this, that is the space. Most of us build a strategy out of exhaustion. What I found is when you build a strategy out of exhaustion, it often doesn't stick. What I mean by that is that you're dragging yourself through content batching, you've got a launch plan, but every task feels like a mountain. You're watching tons of YouTube tutorials at 11 p.m. just so you can finally get consistent. And it's like you're trying to clean your house while your suitcase from vacation is still lying open in the hallway. You can't organize anything because you haven't unpacked what's already there. When you make goals from pressure, that rarely leads to action. It just adds more noise. And what we know for sure is that noise is not clarity, it's often distraction. It's funny how whenever we're confused and we don't know what to do, we consume more content instead of just putting our heads down and figuring out exactly what to let go of. The answer is always less, not more. Most of us don't need to plan more. We need to pause, we need to check in and ask ourselves what is still working and what are we keeping. Here's what you can do instead. Before you sit down and set big goals or sign up for another boot camp, take your journal or just your notes app on your phone and answer these questions. What part of your business are draining you right now? Be specific. Is it a type of client that you just can't deal with and don't want to work with anymore? Is it a specific offer that might be making you money, but you actually don't enjoy delivering it? Or an offer that you keep bringing to the world, but actually it's not attracting any leads? What are you avoiding? And what does that tell you? Maybe you're like, I need to be more consistent on Instagram, but you keep avoiding it. I want you to pay attention to these things because it might be time to let go of it, simplify it, or outsource it. Then the next thing I want you to ask yourself is what would feel like a relief not to do this quarter? It could be a launch that you're like, what if I didn't launch this quarter? What if I didn't force myself to go live weekly? Whatever comes up, I want you to put that down and think about what it means for your business. Because you don't have to act on everything, but you need to start noticing what feelings comes up when you write these things, because that's where clarity comes. So before you set big goals or sign up for another bootcamp, try this. Once you've done the exercise and have more clarity, here's what you want to do to take it one step further. Step one is to remove one thing. Pick one thing that no longer fits, something that you really have outgrown. Maybe it's an offer that just drains you, a marketing platform that you resent. Let it go or pause it. Your energy is your strategy. The second thing you want to do is to double down on what works. Identify what works. You can start focusing on what's actually bringing you results, even if it's not flashy. Keep it simple and keep it focused and keep it consistent. Anything that you do that has worked for you in the past, keep doing it. Then the third thing I want you to do is to adjust your week. Instead of chasing someone else's productivity blueprints, ask yourself, what is my capacity right now? And how can I work with my energy and not against it? Once we simplified her offer suite and we built her week around her actual life, not an influencer's routine, she found that she was actually sticking to her strategy. And she had more space, more traction, and experienced more joy. Not because we pushed harder, but because she stopped trying to do things that just didn't fit anymore. So in case you're thinking, yeah, but how do I actually know what to keep and what to let go of? That's exactly why I created the Balanced Business Roadmap. It's a free guide that will help you diagnose where you are right now and get clear on what to focus on next. It's a simple, clear reset for your business, and you can find the link in the description below. You don't want to keep making the same mistake. You don't need to convince yourself that more pressure equals better results. What you really want is consistency, simplicity, and momentum. The kind that doesn't burn you out or make you question every decision. And you can get that by removing what doesn't fit. So we've talked about a lot of things today, but let's recap. We clarified the idea that you need a better plan every time you start the new year, because if planning alone worked, you wouldn't still feel behind. We talked about why so many smart, capable women get stuck repeating the same pattern, creating plans from pressure, pushing forward without pausing, and carrying things that no longer fit their lives or business. We also looked at what to do instead. Release what drains you, double down on what works, build your week around your real energy, not what the algorithm says. Because when your business is full, No plan, no matter how pretty, is going to fix it. And if you want more support to walk you through this simple way, I want you to download the Balanced Business Roadmap. It's a free guide that will help you figure out at what stage your business is in currently, what to focus on, and where you need to simplify. And you'll find the link right in the description below. And if you're wanting more support, then I want you to come join us inside the Balance CEO Circle. It's our private community for women building businesses without burnout. Before you go, if this resonated, then I want you to watch this video next. The real reason you can't stay consistent, it's not discipline. In that video, I'll show you why your discipline problem is actually a capacity and a design problem, especially if you're a multi-passionate neurodivergent woman who's running a business and life. In that video, you'll learn more about why traditional productivity advice doesn't work for everyone, the 3 hidden reasons your consistency keeps breaking down, and how to reset your rhythm without pushing harder. If this was helpful, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And let me know in the comments what's one thing you're not carrying into 2026.